Then Panjali, Varna, Sutran. Who was the rest of the names? Panjali, Varna, Sutran, and Kunti, Tusala, Satriyan, Indraprastha, Brahmana, Vaishya. I think it should be familiar. These names sound very familiar now. We have come across very often. But these are the place names in Southeast Asia. Will you believe? It's not only this. It's in Southeast Asia. These are the place names. I will show you a map. This is basically a map of Indonesia. I read some of the names. I think that far away, I think you can see the TV screens is available here. And then subsequently, we will also read some of the large maps also. I am reading some of these names like Raja, Sena, Pandurangan is a place. Pandurangan is a friend of mine. In India, in Madurai. But the Pandurangan is a place in Indonesia. Indrapura, Raja, Rajabasar, Sena, Pala, Kalinga, of course, Devi, Sangar, Giri, Pandu, Uma, Chandra, Rani, Indraprastha, Malai, Panchali, Tiribhuvana, Padalingam, Pandu, Meru, Rama, Bhima, Siva. This is one set of names. If you see the other slide, this I have given the other portion because Indonesia is an archipelago of the 17,000 islands. 17,000 islands constitute Indonesia. Bali, Java, Sumatra, Borneo, and all these Korea. Then we got a different name. All kind of in the historical times we got a different name. Swarnabhumi is this area was generally known as in Thailand and other places. If you see this particular map, Bharat, Nagara, Suryalaya, Pandava, Arjuna, Janaka, Devi, Ravan, Bhima, Pandu, Rajaputri, Chandra, Sangar, Brahmana, Satriyan, Vaishya, and Sudra. These are the place names. This place name, which I say that I was reading out from the Indonesia, this includes, let me give the complete list. Indonesia, I am reading out a representative list. Rama, Sita, Bharat, Lakshmana, Ravan, Lanka, Kosalai, Lanka, Janaka is the king of the Kosalai, Garuda, Jatayu, Garuda, Kuru, Panchala, Pandava, Dharma, Arjuna, Bhima, Gandhara, Indraprastha, Drona, Krishna, Devi, Vishnu, Shiva, Sakti, Nandi, Surya, Chandra, Uma, Saraswati is very important. Pandurangan, Linga, Padalingam, Jayasakti, Suryalaya, Surya Setra, Surya Sakti, Tribhuvana, Sankaran, Gaja, Meru, Nagaraja, Raja, Rajan, Rajaraja, Rani, Rajaputri, Rajya, Rajadesa, Rajamandala, Rajabhasa, Rajabhuvana, Malla, Pandiyan, Pallava, Kalin, Pala, Sena, Varna, Brahmana, Chatriyan, Vaishya, Shudra, Malay, Giri, Sagar, Nagara. This is in Indonesia. I'm just giving a glimpse about the Thailand. Ayutthaya. There is a thing also if you go to Thailand, normally Kanchanaburi and other places there, then there is a place called Ayutthaya. It was considered to be the earlier capital. The Thailand kings, even now they call themselves as the Rama kings. Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 3. Ayutthaya. Aranya Pradesha. There is an area in Thailand. It's like Aranya Kandamal. Aranya Pradesha. Sita. If there is a Sita, there has to be Lanka. Maharaj. Rajapuri. Rajagram. Sakraraj. Pranchinpuri. Kanchanapuri. Nagara Sri Dharmaraj, Nagara Rajasimha, Chandapuri. Then this is Thailand, people know it. I am talking about the Philippines. Can you believe it? Langa, Linga, Agatya, Abhutya, Ayodhya, Gaja, Devarman, Mahisa, Kalinga, Singa, Sura, Sundara, Malay, Aranyo, Uma, Madurai, Ayutthaya, Bharat, Ganga, Ravan, Rama, Sita, Gandhara. This is I am just giving this particular as a sample. Indonesia, I gave it. You can see the map. Thailand, you see the place, latitude and latitude. I have the Aksharekha and Dirgharekha, latitude and latitude position. You can Google for it. You can see it in Google here. I am giving the whole detail. You can locate that and read about it. And then it's a Thailand, it's in Philippines. You see that Gandara and other places. So why you need to know that why of all the names I selected this RIG. Sounds good also, read. And like KVT, Kotai, Benji, Tondi. I will tell the reason. And then, then like this, you see the Philippines. So is it a beginning? I want to give a prototype. I want to talk about some area where undoubtedly we talk about an influence during little prehistoric and historic time. We are able to connect with the Kalinga kings and the Pallava kings, and I have been to Angkor Wat, and you know what are the temples, the Hindu temple and Champa kingdom and the Karaikalamaya statue there. So you know the context in which this particular spread of the culture, Indianization took place. But way back in 2002-03, I published a research article about Orissan. This paper is a very important paper. It was published by V.H. Subramaniam in International Journal of Remedial Linguistics. The article was New Light on Contacts Between Kalinga and Indonesia. Like that I submitted a paper, and even today that paper is referred to. I think even recently, when few months back when we celebrated the first World Oriya Chemoli, that means classical language conference, and that map was put for the display. So, but this contact, that my paper also found that the contact with the Southeast Asia and what is now called India is not only historical times. The prehistoric time, there was a huge connectivity. What is now the peninsular India or the eastern coast to the Southeast Asia. And this is called pre-Aryan civilization in Southeast Asia. People call it an Austronesian civilization. And the process of the so-called Indianization. This, how is pronounced the name is? Coates. I think somebody knows the French may correct me. This scholar's name is G. Coates. Coates. Okay, fine. Fair enough. So he has written a phenomenal book. I will tell you the book later on. I am just reading a paragraph about the pre-Aryan civilization. You tell me what you are reminded of with regard to material culture of the pre-Aryan civilization of the Southeast Asia. The cultivation of irrigated rice. Cultivation of the irrigated rice. What is considered the cradle of the rice cultivation in the world? Orissa part, the Koraput region of Orissa, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and southern China. These are considered to be the cradle of the rice cultivation. That is the reason International Rice Research Institute is located in Manila. Indian Rice Research Institute are located in Cuttack and Orissa. So this is the way the rice cultivation starts. Irrigated rice, domestication of the cattle and buffalo. I underline the word buffalo. Southeast Asians like it. Even today, we are actually, today we have so much polluted. We are tolerating buffalo. Even when I am coming out of the house, if the buffalo come in front of me, suddenly I have a jerk and people say that no, Saguna Sarila, something like that. So then I saw a guy who was basically taking a cow to the 7th floor for the Graha Pravesham. And I don't think even will he take a buffalo kick. And then the buffalo is considered, whereas the buffalo is celebrated in Indus Valley. The place where the buffalo was domesticated was the Indus Valley. Where the place where the literature in which the buffalo was celebrated is Sangam literature. Annal Yeru, the word which is reserved for Annal Ambedkar and Annal Gandhi Yadigal, used by Sangam literature as an Annal Yeru, Aninade Irumal. What a way to glorify. And this is the literature. The marriage function in Sangam literature starts with the married women and coming and planting the buffalo horns on the ground, and that is what Panda called. And after that, the whole ceremony of the marriage, how auspicious. And in Orissa and Chhattisgarh, our tribals are wearing a buffalo horn and dancing. In Indus Valley civilization, in the seal, we are seeing with the buffalo horn. Buffalo is the animal of the Indus Valley. Buffalo is the animal of Indian civilization. Buffalo is the animal of the Sangam literature. But later on, it became the vehicle of Lord Yama. So that's the reason one of my talk and book I complete with the last sentence in Tamil. எங்கள் எருமையின் மீது எவனை ஏற்றி வைத்தவன் எவன். So here in Southeast Asia, domestication of cattle and buffalo. India accounts for 80% of the Asian buffalo in the world and 20% in Southeast Asia. With regard to the social system, even you will not get a good picture in the any.com. You go to an Indian buffalo picture, you won't get it in Indian photo. You get it in Thailand photo, Indonesia photo, Vietnam photo. A child reading seated on the buffalo, reading a book. I've seen my friends reading like that. In Sangam literature, there is a description that there is a small kid seated on the buffalo, going like this, looking like a monkey seated on the thing and all. So what a phenomenal way the buffalo was celebrated. Here look at the thing. Social system, importance of your role conferred on women. Sangam literature industry. Relationship in the maternal line. Atta ponnu, mama paiyan, material, maternal, the cross-cousin wedding, and organization resulting from requirement of the agriculture, belief in animism, worship of ancestor, Nita Perumai, god of the soil, Tinai Kadavulgal, shrines in high places, made to electric Kadavul in Israel, dead in the burial of the dead in jars and dolmen, Mudumakkal Tali and Perungal Kalam. Does it not look like a prehistoric picture of India? Prehistoric picture of the South India, the picture given in the Sangam literature, but this is the Southeast Asia. And this is the book I am telling you, I will show the book. The so-called Indianization, why, you may wonder, he has come to talk about the Aryan migration and read. He is still not moved of the Southeast Asia. I would like to do that. You will understand why I am talking this. The so-called Indianization of Southeast Asia began around beginning of the Christian era. The actual migration resulted usually not in the annihilation or complete eviction of the old occupants of the soil by the newcomers, but in adoption by the former of the language and customs, the conquerors or new ruling class. I prefer the word new ruling class rather than conquerors. So you go there, don't throw people. You impose your new language, your new culture, new mantras and slogans and other rituals. The Sanskrit element is important in the vocabulary of the languages spoken here in Southeast Asia. The alphabets are of the Indian origin. Indian customary laws and administrative organization influence the language. Certain Brahmanic traditions persist even after converting to Islam and Sinhalese Buddhism. In Indonesia, is supposed to be an Islamic country. I have been to Indonesia, but the phenomenon is totally, absolutely class apart. And Buddhism in Thailand, you still see that so many people who talk to you are the Indian names and other things. The Indianization of Farther India is the continuation overseas of a Brahmanization. This I am reading from Poets. 1968, Indianized States of Southeast Asia. Phenomenal book, I tell you. This book I had 30 years back I had bought. It's one of the best book I have read. That had its earliest focus in Northwest India. He said, Indianization of Farther India is the continuation overseas of a Brahmanization that had its earliest focus in Northwest India. And that, having begun well before Buddha, continues to our day in Bengal as well as in South. The Brahmanization process which started well before Buddha in Northwest, even now continuing in places like West Bengal, Bangladesh of course now changed, and South India. And Neo-Kshatriya, I want to say, it's like you say that neo-landlords or neo-rich, you call Neo-Kshatriya, under Parampara, if you were to translate in Tamil. Neo-Kshatriya, the strategy of lateral entry. Lateral entry is a very important word nowadays. You just enter laterally. You don't stand in the queue. Okay, right? You just come like that. And just put an application process, get it processed in the background and then laterally enter. So you don't have to really sweat your blood and you don't have to sacrifice your life. It's called lateral entry. So Neo-Kshatriya, the strategy of lateral entry. I read in Arthashastra. Arthashastra recommends the king people an old or new country, either by taking the territory of another or by sending forth the excess inhabitants of his own. He is telling king, he is advising, either you go and take over the another country and old country or new country, and then if necessary send your excess population to that area. So go and create, go and popularize, go and colonize, go and settle there. New settlements. Elevation of native chiefs to the level of Kshatriya. So then suddenly you will find that local or Natamai, some Jamindar will be there with a Chembu and other thing, or he will be telling that, okay, this is all 18, 18 Patti, I am the guy. Okay, fine. So he's this tribe and everything and all. So you convert him, sir, you are a great Kshatriya and all. So you convert him to an Anda Parampara. So Kshatriya by means of, there is a ritual. Vratyostoma is the Brahminic rite for admitting foreigners into Orthodox community. By this ritual, even a foreigner can become a Kshatriya. When the British people took the Orissa area, the Puri and that area, I read the entire history, published books, I written articles, and when they came to took over the Puri, and then Cornwallis wrote a letter to the captain from Bangla, they came with a lot of care. You be very, very careful when you are going to Puri and all. And they carry a recommendation letter from the Vishnupur Brahmins, and then they carry it for the Pandas in Puri. And then they came and met the foreigners. We consulted our Lord. That means Lord Jagannath they had consulted, and he has given a consent that you are a good guys and all. So then that is how the foreigners were taken. So that means it's very easy. Actually, you give a grant. Shivaji had a problem. He had to bring the priest from Bengal and Orissa to declare himself as a Samrat. You know the Samrat story. So that means you become an Orthodox community. All regions of India contributed something to this expansion. Again, I am quoting him. And it was the South that played the greatest role. And the influence of Southern India on the whole was preponderant. I am talking about the money invested, the efforts invested, the efforts taken in Southeast Asia, Indianization, Hinduization of Southeast Asia. Though the whole country participated, the greater role played by South India, Pallavas, Cholas and other people. And the reason, that is the medieval time. By the time, already the South India and Tamil Nadu was in the grip. We started forgetting the love, a girl falling in love with a boy girl loving and falling in love with a girl in Sangam literature and eloping. But that love became falling in love with God. That became the ritual medieval Bhakti Ilakya. That is the time where we ourselves were building temples, we were having the Ramayana Savadi, and we were having a Mahabharata Savadi. Did you know any Tamil kings who ever took the Tiruppural in his hand and talked to the people of Tamil Nadu? Do you know the name of any king who celebrated Sangam literature? I travelled all over Southeast Asia. I went to Angkor Wat. I have been in Vietnam. I have been in Cambodia. I have been in Indonesia. Wherever I go, in Angkor Wat, the entire celebration, only one Karaikal Ambayar. Was there a Tiruppural statue, a Tiruppural sculpture, or Sangam literature? See? So Hinduism, under the particular aspect of royal cult that it assumed in further India, was essentially an aristocratic religion which was not designed for the masses. Again I am quoting him. A Sanskrit inscription in Champa says, the Brahman Kaundinya, having received a javelin means welcome, javelin throw, from the Brahman Aswatthama, son of Drona. Imagine, who is the son of Drona? Coming in Mahabharata, Aswatthama, name of an elephant as well as thing. And he takes a javelin throw from him, threw it to mark the location. He goes to Champa in Southeast Asia and throw the javelin. So where the javelin goes and throw, if you are throwing in Olympic, you will get a medal. If you throw it during the Champa, during the medieval age, where the javelin went and fell, that is his capital. This is what the inscription says. And to mark the location of his future capital, then married a daughter of the king of local Naga. Anybody local guy, anybody is a tribal, anybody different looking, he has to be called a Naga. In India the same story. And that girl was named Soma. Soma is good to drink. Who gave birth to a royal life. So she is converted. She is a Kshatriya. She is the ruling class. The government of the country, Angkor and Sri Vijaya, was in the hands of aristocratic oligarchy. The great offices were held by members of the royal family. The Brahmanic families were often related to royal families. Marriages between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, mind it, seem to have been frequent. These two castes representing the intellectual element and Indian culture constitute a class separate from and superior to masses. We know little about the life of the peasants and the farmers and villagers. Nothing is known. No inscription, no literature talks about that. Only Sangam literature talks about the peasant. Sangam literature talks about the fisherwoman, the lady who is selling the salt, ordinary people's love. Only Sangam literature talks. The inscription give interminable list of the names of those slaves, Adimayal, whom we know nothing but their names, which were often very uncomplimentary epithets. Dog, cat, detestable, stinking, Natham Vichana, Eli, Munjiru. That signified the scorn in which these people were held. It sounds very familiar now. 50 years back we had that. 40 years back we had that. Last century we had that in our own areas. Then coming to the last portion, Devaraja, the doctrine of nexus. There is a cult called Devaraja, where the priestly class and the local ruler or the tribe or somebody or the ruling class create a nexus. It is creating some new cult called Devaraja cult. And then this priest goes and claims that he has learnt magical science from the Janaka. You remember Janaka in Mahabharata? He learnt Janaka magic and went to Southeast Asia. And then he makes the Chakravarti. He declares he is a Samrat. And then suddenly he is not liking somebody. The Airlanga is a king. He rid the country of a woman. A powerful woman was there. Maybe a ruler, a tribal lady, or a powerful fighter. Maybe a local puli, Nachaya, or Jhansi Rani types, or this like. So he is similar, endowed with a formidable power similar to a Rakshasi. Or Rakshasi. She was powerful like a Rakshasi and devastated the southern region, which he burned with his tongue. He put out his tongue and burned that area. As for Vijaya, Prince of Venkatar, beaten and obliged to flee. There was a king, local king. He is beating and obliging to flee, abandoning his wife, children, treasures and royal vehicles. This is the story of Southeast Asia, how this was Indianized, Hinduized. I wanted to start the story from there and quickly have a look at it. This there, Mahabharata war scene depicted in the Angkor Wat temple. I have seen myself, many of you must have seen. This is the drone view of the Angkor Wat temple. Let me tell you what has been excavated, not even 1/4 of what is there. Now I think ground penetrating radar and the satellite images are showing that a lot more yet to be excavated. But even today, this is the largest temple campus, Hindu temple campus anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. The largest temple is not in India. It is not in North India. It is not in South India. It is there in Angkor Wat. There is a statue for the small statue for Karikalamaya. That you see you know the story. Karikalamaya was walking using her hand and went to Kailasa. That is a different story. Thiruvarangat, Tirupadigam. And this statue, this sculpture was sculpted 150 years before the same sculpture was done in Gangaikonda Cholapura. This is ancient. Okay. Now coming to the this is Indonesian airline. I have also travelled by this. This airline's name is a Garuda Airlines. And you go to Thailand. Many of you must have gone. I will also be going. And in the airport arrival lounge, you will see Swarnabhumi Airport, Bangkok. This is a scenery of the Mandara Malai, Vasuki Pambu, and Devas and Asuras, and some dark guys and white guys and all. And they were actually churning the Amrita. And now recently, a similar mural has been kept in the Indian Parliament for information. So this is where. So I would like to give few reference for your future reading. A history of Southeast Asia. Mr. Bhai Hall. And the Indianized states of South Asia, I recommend. The Search for Lanka is a D.P. Mishra. This book also I got it about 30 years back. I never know that he was once upon a time the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. I was just reading, he was a teacher, then he was a professor, then he was a vice chancellor, then he becomes a MLA, then he becomes the speaker, then became a minister. Then now only just 1 week back I was reading a biodata. His last line is quietly written, he was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh for this 2 years. Can you imagine that? So this man has written the Search for Lanka. So this is the first part of my presentation. I have presented before a story of the Southeast Asia, where the Raja, Ravan, Sita, Ayodhya, Kanchanapuri and Durona, Indrapuri, Indrapura, everything has gone, and there is a process, how the process done, who are the creating a nexus, and how the lateral entries are made, and not many people have forgotten those names, that's a different story. I will come to the second part of my presentation, and before that I will give the abstract and the methodology. I think, let me tell you, this talk is going to be a bit longer. Let me forewarn you. And this is the 20th September. What needs to be spoken has to be spoken. And you feel free. But it has to be spoken. Abstract and methodology. This presentation puts forth specific thematic identical placed clusters in different geographical regions and argues in favor of the Aryan migration theory. There is a theory called Aryan invasion theory, who is blaming Aryans that they came and demolished the Harappan cities and Mohenjo-daro. Even Mortimer Wheeler went to the level of telling that these dead bodies were floating, these, that and all, and the Aryans came and did, and Indra stands accused, he wrote, and I don't subscribe. Many people don't subscribe. There was nothing called such a big war, because there is no evidence of war. There was not even weapon. I think the Indus people were the peace-loving people. The walls they constructed not for the defense, it was more for the flood protection. The burnt brick meant for the protecting from the flood. Sometimes the water will come and stay for 10 days like that. It's a flood protection, highly sophisticated. They were not believing in pyramids or the big temples and kind of thing, but they had a kupai toti and good roads and the streets and the Kaliparigal, and it's a different type of story. So I don't subscribe to Aryan invasion theory. I subscribe to Aryan migration theory, AMP, because I have always subscribed to Dravidian migration theory also. If I can subscribe to Dravidian migration theory and build the narrative of the Indus Valley civilization with the help of Sangam literature, why not? So I give the evidence for that. The connecting threads of identical name clusters in this presentation are euphemistically. I want to take stuff. So make it a little more, to make it coverage, to make it glamorized. So euphemistically, I want to call this RIG Indra-Gandara complex. There is a reason for it. As an acronym, it reads RIG. I like it. And second thing, it represents RIG, Indra, one book, important Vedic text, that to earliest Vedic. One important personality, Indra. He comes in Veda, he comes in Ramayana, he comes in Mahabharata also, even he figures in Sangam literature also. And then Gandhara is a place and then people also, it's coming in Mahabharata, mentioned in Veda also, mentioned in Ramayana also. Many people don't know that. So it comes in all the three. That's how the name is called RIG cycle. I will explain. So put together, I would like to call this a RIG complex. This author used the same methodology while proposing the cavity, which I followed while proposing cavity complex, Kottai Bandi Tundi in 2010 in Coimbatore. Cavity complex provides evidence for the probable Dravidian affiliation of the language of IVC and the context and directions of Dravidian migration. For the cavity complex, Sangam Tamil corpus, one of the earliest classical texts, was present as the prime reference. Similarly, this presentation deployed the Vedic text, the two grand epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, as telltale corpuses for the RIG complexes. The same way I use the Sangam literature for the building of the cavity complex theory, I am using this literature. I want to introduce a book. I think you Google for it. There was a conference in Austria, sometime I think that it was in 2019, 6 to November. it's a conference on the geographical names of the world. It's a United Nations conference organized by United Nations. There was a sitting on the place names and migration. Was almost about 10-12 people presented an excellent paper. So I want to give certain theoretical position. What happens when the people move around? When collective migration take place, who goes with them? And whom they take along? Can they carry their hills? Can they carry their house? People have gone to Singapore, people have gone to Malaysia, people have gone to other parts of the world, Tamilians. Some people were forcibly sent to South Africa, Mauritius. They took their Muniyamma, Muniyandi, Karupasamy and Murugan. And then now people are little more sophisticated. They are going on IT job. They constructed a Ganesha temple and prior to that, earlier in 400 years back, it used to be Karupasamy and Muniyandis in South Africa and Mauritius and Reunion Island and other places, even in Malaysia. Okay, then what is there in their carry bags? If any, what happens to the gods and goddesses? They walk. Do they stay back or move with them? Gods go with them. Place names supply in full measure linguistic information. This is the first para I have written in JOC. Second thing is F.T. Wainwright. Place names supply in full measure linguistic information of kind that is absent in archaeology, as he pointed out, and usually ignored or blurred in historical record. This is not recorded in historical records. Because historical records is always, most of the time, written by Vadakai Pulavarman. So they hired people. And is there any inscription where the king has been told that there was a fault with my king? No. A people clings tenaciously to its own way of identifying itself. As a result, these naming tend to survive linguistic and geographical shifts. George Stewart's. Even after people moving, migrating, this name, as it is, survive linguistic shift, geographical shift. In Southeast Asia, there may be different language. Mer languages, Mon, or many dynasties, Southeast Asian language, Indonesian languages will be spoken. But the name Ram, Rama, Raja, Sita stays there. And conditions to satisfy. To select, how do I arbitrarily select these names? Why I selected Potkai Banji Tondi? If I say Potkai Banji Tondi, the bell will ring in Tamil's head because he has heard it in Sangam literature. Oh, Potkai, Potkayo, Vanji, Uva Vanji, Puta Vanji, Tondi, Tondiyo, Tondi will ring. If I go and tell the Potkai Banji Tondi to a guy in UP or a Sanskrit Pandit in North India, he will not know what he is talking. He may not know. He may be knowing a Kanchipuram or something like that. But Potkai Banji Tondi, he will not know. So I selected, I didn't even select, I am from Madurai, I didn't select Madurai. There is a place called Madurai in Indus Valley, but I didn't select Kashyasri because that would be linked with the Madura near Agra. So I did not want to take a chance. I wanted to select some name which nobody knows, nobody will claim. That will anybody claim KVT? Only I will claim and you will claim. Then similar thing, and second thing, such names shall not have a parallel claim in the identity narrative of other ethno-linguistic group. First condition, without this you cannot create the identity. I cannot create my identity as a Tamil with Potkai, Banji, Tondi, Chera, Chola, Pandian, Validi, Maran, Killi, and this is how I will create my narrative. And then, as was done in the case of KVT complex, this author consciously avoids the etymological trap which might lead to folk etymologies. I don't get into the business of finding the meaning of the place name. Place names are fossilized. You don't look for the meaning. Honestly speaking, I don't know the meaning of Potkai. Caldwell says that it's a Pullum Kai. The waves are coming and taking away the people. No, I don't agree. I don't know the meaning of Vanji. Even Sangam poet was not knowing. He was making a pun of the word saying that Puva Vanji il Puta Vanji. Vanji il Kodi, Vanji il city, Puva Vanji il Puta Vanji. No one. Por was a place name, but he does know. Serupu was the name of a Malay in Sangam. He calls a Vidya Cherupu. By the time Cherupu was a chapel, and then this chapel, if you say that Serupu, suppose somebody says that he is coming from the Cherupu hill, but he will not be misunderstood. So he says that Vidya Cherupu. And there is already a hill called Kudurai Malay, Kudurai Moke in Karnataka. And Sangam literature says, Voda Kudure. If some fellow says that I went to Kudure and come back, no, you can only go on Kudure. How can you go to Kudure? And he may ask, Kudure. So he says, Voda Kudure. So that means I don't get into the business of finding the names, meaning for the names, because it's a trap. In somebody near Thiruvarur, Navapatnam, they were given all kind of meaning. Adi Akka Mangalam. And somebody was standing, two ladies were there, this was calling Adi Akka Mangalam. Like that you call that, it become Adi Akka Mangalam. Actual meaning is that Adiyak is a group of Brahmins. And Adiyak, the Mangalam was a place given to them as a free of tax. So Adiyak Mangalam. So it's become Adi Akka Mangalam. So like that I don't get into that business because that's a trap. Then I will move into these segments. I told that how do I go it. The cavity complex you are all familiar, and this map a lot of people must have seen in internet, and all these things you must have seen it. Cavity complex. Next you see the reed complex is also a conscious choice. Cavity complex is a conscious choice. I chose from Sangam Tamil. Reed complex is also a conscious choice. These names are integral to the identity of the Indo Aryans as a linguistic family and connected ideologies. You cannot construct an Aryan ideology without Rig, without Indra and without Gandhara. The association of these names with the Vedic, Ramayana and Mahabharata is significant. These names move as people move. The same way Kotte, Yanchi, Tondi move as the people move. These names were either unknown or removed to the ancient layers of other linguistic group of Indian subcontinent. I don't make any difference yet. I am unbiased. I am forceful in my arguments. But at the same time, can you imagine having found this data in my computer in 2002, 3, 4? I have waited 32 years to make this announcement. I could have rushed to media. I could have given a talk in 2000. I focus in my job. KVT complex, I found it sometime in 2003, 4. I waited 7 years to announce this in Coimbatore conference. I didn't even make a mention about to anybody because I am not in a hurry. When I speak, I want irrefutable evidence that where I can meet the evidence, defend every word I speak, every para I write. So this is my style of doing research because I am not a professional researcher. I am not an academician. So I have my own job to do and this is my passion. Okay, R for Rig. In the first one, Rig. Vedic place names and personal names of toponyms in the region west of Asia. I put it. This Rig complex. I for Indra. Indra is the most frequently referred to deity in the Rig Veda and other Sanskrit texts. I just see these books, Indra hints of the Rig Veda. Indra is the most mentioned personality in Rig Veda. There is a separate book, Indra hints of the Rig Veda, J. Konda, E.J. Brill, 1989. Indra is the most referred. Indra mentioned multiple times in Ramayana. See the other evidence. Indra mentioned in Mahabharata as Arjuna's spiritual father. Like Pandavas had a spiritual father, and like a Vayu and Surya, and for Arjuna, the Indra was mentioned as the spiritual father. So then I have chosen this particular R.I. Then also next is Gandhara. G for Gandhara I chose it because you know the Gandhari story. And coming to the next page, Gandhara is the name of a people in the northwest India. It is mentioned in Rig Veda, good wool of the sea. Gandhara is also mentioned in the Mujavans, Angas, Magadas in Atharva Veda. And Gandhara, the land of Gandharvas in Ramayana. Gandhara mentioned in Mahabharata. So that means Rig is relevant to all three, Indra is relevant to all three, and Gandhara is relevant to all three, but they are identified in something. Gandhara means not many people remember Mahabharata only, but the fact remains associated. Okay, this is what I am doing it in the. So we have discussed that. Now I am coming to the Mahabharata. So I am not basically going, I have gone systematically. This is a book, an index to the names in the Mahabharata. Probably, I don't know whether it's available online. You can buy it, I think it must be available in the library. And then I think archive.com, I don't know whether they have. But there is a book where all the names of the places, names of the people, Sura, Asura, kings, the tribes, and then insects, birds, every name is mentioned. One of the two grand epics in Sanskrit, I don't want to say more precisely about a war fought in North Asia. Next. It's not a rocket science. Since I am putting the book of the very high sounding book, to make this cluster, you don't even look at it. I want to make it, I want to reassure all of you, it's not a rocket science. I just wanted to use the Wikipedia. Cluster making, named clusters of Mahabharata from Wikipedia. So I went to, after reading all this book for three decades, and just few days back I went to Wikipedia Mahabharata. And I only made the bold of all the names mentioned. Okay, King Janamejaya, ancestor of Santanu, his ancestor Santanu, king of Hastinapura, and then he had a short-lived marriage with a girl, lady called Ganga, goddess, and then he has a son Devarata, later to be called, he was only called Bhishma. Then he is going for hunting, then suddenly he is Satyavati, the daughter of the chief of the fisherman. So he wants to marry. The fisherman says that no, I will not give you marriage unless you give a promise that you will give the ruling position to the daughter born of my daughter, a son born of my daughter, like that. So Santanu also has two sons by Satyavati already, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Then Bhishma gave a promise to this fisherman girl that said that he will maintain celibacy, he will be a brahmacharya so that he doesn't give birth, so that he doesn't come for the contest for throne. So then he was going to Kasi side. So Kasi king is doing a Swayamvara, and then he is having three daughters, and Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. And then he is a Brahmin, then he suddenly decides to participate in the Swayamvara, but he cannot marry. Why he is participating in the Swayamvara is that he is basically doing the Swayamvara for his brother. I mean, he has delegated himself the responsibility. So he goes and wins the Swayamvara. So all the three girls he is taking down, abducting. And then one girl cries that I am already in love with one fellow, and his name is Salva. And he was defeated in this one. So he says, okay, you go and live with him. These two girls I give to my brother. And then she goes to Salva. Salva said, I am already lost. It's my izzat, it's my pride. I cannot marry you. So she gives like this. You just go to the Wikipedia. Next page. Bolder. Like this you can create a glossary. It is as easy as and going and downloading from the Wikipedia and bold it, and you are with a cluster. This is called Mahabharata cluster. I read that book, noted years together, and all the book is a very easy thing. Okay, come to that. I have purposely all these names, each name I have mentioned is a significant name. This is an area outside India. There are some names I have purposely made it is because the last row you may not be able to read it. Every name is important. Every name I have mentioned is important from the Mahabharata point of view. Mahabharata place name, Kurukshetra, MB battlefield, Kyrgyzstan, Kurukse, Tajikistan, Kurukse, Turkmenistan, Kurukse, Mathura, place of Krishna, Georgia, Mathura, Georgia, Indraprastha, Pakistan, Indra-Gandara, Prabhas is a Telugu actor, I think. He is a place name. And a famous place in Gujarat during Mahabharata period. Mahabharata says a famous place in Gujarat. Is in Iran, is the only place. Prabhas is a place name. Azerbaijan, Sivi Base, Madhya Pradesh, Mahabharata territory, Iran, Iraq, Sivi, you read this name. Kasi is a very, very popular name. Starting from Iran, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, you see that area, archaeological area. Asta is a place, a mountain in the west where the sun sets. Astamana, we say that is Astamikira Ilam, Astama. Asta, I don't know whatever I don't believe in etymology, but maybe the reason, I don't know. But in Iran, Asta is a place. Asik is a river, Iran, Iraq. Kandava, you must have seen Ramayana, Kandava Vanam. In the Mahabharata also Kandava Vanam, Mahabharata, Pandava and Vanavasam, all kind of thing. So Tajikistan is a Kandava. Afghanistan is the Kandava. Anga, normally we say that Anga is the Karna's place, it is in the Bihar side. But the Anga is in Pakistan and Iran, Ange, Afghanistan. Kalinga is always associated in Sangha literature also that it is with Orissan. but it's a Kaling in Iran and Kalingal. Pandav is a very important 5 people, but Afghanistan, Pandav. And then Arjun, great hero of Mahabharata, Iran, Arjun. Keep it in mind, Southeast Asia, where we travel. We took Rama, Sita, Ravan, Arjun, Pandav, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, Bhim, Pakistan, Nakul, Pakistan, Dharma, Pakistan, Iran, Vayu, Turkmenistan, Indra, he spiritually fathered Arjun. Look at that name. Look at the Georgia corner. This is an area you have to understand. That says the Black Sea, this is the Caspian Sea. Above that you go there, you see the entire, top of that you see the steppe grazing area, steppe Melchanila. And then in the Veda and other literature, people often talk about Eastern Sea, Western Sea. I will show that the Eastern Sea and Western Sea, it is not the Arabian Sea and West Bengal, Bay of Bengal. I am seeing that the Eastern Sea, Western Sea, when you travel, probably it's the Caspian Sea and Black Sea, not my Bay of Bengal and Arabian Ocean. So that is it. That is how it moves. And Dusada, only one daughter of Dhritarashtra, sister of Kauravas, Pakistan, Dusada, Gandhari, Kunti in Iran, Ganga, Pakistan, Iran, Bhishma, Panjali, Sakun, Salva. Salva is the guy who was went for that Swayamvara, and Amba was in love with him, and Bhishma sent him back, and he refused to marry her. She took a oath that I will kill you. Ultimately, Bhishma will be, I will be reason for death. She is born as a Chikandi, and Chikandi come in the Mahabharata, and then the Bhishma was not killed till Chikandi comes there. She comes. This is the story goes. Amba, eldest daughter of the Kasi. Look at the Amba. Iran, Pakistan, Ambalika, look at it, Afghanistan, Ambika. This is South, and I am just giving some of the name. Like say, look at, can you believe this name? Mahabharata, if you go to story, Mahabharata, who wrote Mahabharata? Vyas. That Vyas name will solve thing. Finally we will have a Vyasa body. The whole group will move. Ayodhya Kupa will be there, and then Vyasa body will be there. It will go to Southeast Asia, and finally it will come. Then this Lanka is in this Lanka, and this fellow took away, and the thing and all, Pandav, Panjav, this kind of thing. Finally, Ayodhya Kupa, Vyasa body, because that Vyasa is supposed to be a fisherman thing. So there is a fisherman area, North Chennai. Okay, you have a Vyasa body, and okay, you have an Ayodhya Kupa. So whereas Ganesha, there is a story that actually Mahabharata was written by Ganesha as Vyas was dictating. So he broke the thing and all, he was writing. So then, can you imagine if you find Ganesha as a place name? But I don't know whether this Ganesha is my Pillayar, whether this Ganesha is my Vinayaka, or this Ganesha is this Ganesha, or this Ganesha and Mahabharata Ganesha. Ganesha is mentioned in Ramayana, Ganesha is mentioned in Veda. So which Ganesha? But Ganesha for me, G-A-N-E-S-A, S-H-A, that's all. I don't look at it in meaning, because this is how I read about my studies. That's why I am accurate. The reason for me is a cluster of the consonant and vowels. There is either vowel or sound, consonant. I can give a tag, that is how the binary computer language understand that way. It doesn't care about the meaning. I will hand over the entire data to the artificial intelligence. I will decode it. This is the way you have to go about it. It's a simple code. It's a consonant and vowel. G followed by A, followed by N, followed by E, followed by S, H, A. That's the end of it. So then if all this cluster, okay, if all these clusters again coming in America, okay, I surrender. Somebody said that Salem, somebody came and asked me, there is a Salem in America. Do you think that Salem was created by our Kongu guys? No. I said, there is Salem also, there is a Salem. But in the same way, if the Salem is accompanied by Surur, Kovai, Kangayam, Erode, Abhinasi, and the entire group comes in one area, then I will seriously give a thought. It's a cluster. Then I will try to understand public matter. But that is the reason you have to be careful. That means isolated, I found one name. Oh, it looks like Tamil. So that's what everything came from Tamil. That's a no. It's an algorithm. It's a database. Absolutely data finds. So I will go. This could be even some places K will become a Q in some country. Adit, so that means ADIK, it will ADIQ will be there. So this has to be, it's a very painstaking. It takes years, I tell you, day and night after coming from office. I am working on for 30 long years. The way I worked for JOC, I have worked it and left it as such 20-30 years back. Now taken it last 2 months, day and night, from 8 o'clock to midnight. And I have breathed only this. Look at this Kalki name. Kalki is an avatar. It's yet to take place. But we had a Kalki ashram nearby Chennai. You know the history. So Kalki is we know the Kalki. Okay, but Kalki is a place name. So Panjali, Kuru, Vasudev, Markandeya, Devaki, Manas, Ganesha, Indra, Kanika, Sukra, Kuru, Menaka, all the names. Some names only I have put it in the highlight so that the last row you are able to see it. I have the data. Next page. So now what I did, of all these things I see, the same name will have a equivalent in India. When you move into India, what will happen? In Iran or some places it will be just Vyas. It will be Rama or some place Ram, Sita. But when it comes to the India, it will become Rampur. Then it will come to South India. Then towards South India, it will become Rampura. Then it is come to the in Tamil Nadu, it will become Ramapuram near Porur, Ramapuram, near Ramapuram. So then it will go to Rameshwaram. So like that, Ammi Trividi, and then it will become a Tamilized or South Indianized, Vyasa Kuppam, Ayodhya Kuppam type it will come. But the root word is that Vyas, Asur will be there. So then I put all the exact matches where it happens in India. Then the whole map will be, because I have all the places I have the name, all the places I have a latitude, a longitude, but it will be looking very bizarre to look at it. So I converted it into a dot so that you call this a density map. Look at this. I think I will come back to the theory of the Rajesh Kochhar and all, the sequencing of the Ramayana and Mahabharata. There is a two different view among the historians, archaeologically speaking, which one is the earlier. People may not believe it. So look at it, which area is the density? The density upper Gangetic and then middle Gangetic and the eastern Gangetic plains, and absolutely the westward it is a very blank area. When it comes to the Gujarat, the Indus area is hardly anything, and it comes to the South India as the religion spread and the Chola comes and start constructing temple, and then later Pandyas and the Cheras become separate Kerala, and to this guy Pallavas bring the Grantha, Pallava Grantha, and for the first time Arjun Dabas and the butter ball in Mahabharata and Arjun Dabas, Panjabandav Kugai. All this thing comes through the Pandava period and the Chola period, and it gets into that, but that's a resistance. You cannot have a Shudran, Vaisya, Brahmana, and that kind of names here. Still, I am still searching for it. It's not happening. Even if it is coming, it will come like a Vitara with some Patti or some Palli kind of thing. It is the density map. The density makes it very, very clear. This name essentially belongs to that region. And when it comes to it comes with the suffix. When it comes to the South India, it becomes thin. Okay, next. Ramayana. I take this book. The Ramayana paper. Okay. So there is a book called An Index to the Proper Names appearing in Valmiki's Ramayana by Manmath Nath Rai, edited by Gurnath Sastri, Varanasi, published. I have this book. I have thoroughly read. I note down in my Excel sheet and taken absolute notes about that. The story, you know that Valmiki, I may not say that, duration. The whole story goes. Come to the map. If you see I have seen hundreds and hundreds of names. I was amazed. The Ramayana place name, then I located how is the hill, river. Then I was kept on taking notes. Then I took a note that the place there will be a hill. Then the Valmiki Ramayana tell this is a hill where the Sugriva was asking his people to go and search for Sita. So search for Sita. Then Sugriva asked to search for Sita. Then people went for search for Sita and then not find and ransacked that hill. So then I put all the notes in Excel sheet. Searched for Sita and ransacked after not finding. So where all Sita was searched. So to the story which I know that she should be logically searched in via Tamil Nadu, somebody should go to Sri Lanka and search there, or on the way they should search. I was locating what Valmiki Ramayana says that Sita was searched and the place was ransacked. There is a place, a hill in the west, Valmiki Ramayana says, where Sita was searched. The place is Alexita. We see the places, Georgia, Alakotsi, Alakitsi, Azerbaijan, Alexi. That means when you make a place, I am from Madurai, mean Maduraiyon. If I from Korkai, Korkayon, Vanjiyon, and then people of Madurai, Londoner, and he is the Berliner, like that, you always create from the name a person from that place. If a guy is coming from Lanka, he is a Lankan. He is an Azerbaijanian. He is an Armenian. So like that, all over the world, a person's identity will be created. So Alexita Alexi is a place in Azerbaijan. Alexita. Andhra. Valmiki Ramayana says that in the south, Sugriva asked Angara to go there and search for Sita. I thought Sita and the Ramayana story is taking place in Gangetic plain, and they must have already actually naturally asked go to the south and search for this Andhra. So this Andhra which we created as state. So then I was surprised to say that Pakistan, this Andhra is there. Georgia, Andhra is there. Pakistan. Darada, a country ransacked in search of Sita. In Iran, Afghanistan, Tajikistan. Jatapura, a town in west, where Sita. West of what? Afghanistan, Jata. Kailasa, Iraq, Kailasin, Kailaspi, Kailachi. Then I also found that probably, I am trying to understand, I will go for my future studies about the suffix pattern. We call Ganga, and then when you write in Tamil, we will say that Gangai. Gangai, Kaila, Kailasana, Kailai. Mailapur will say Mailai. So that means I eat Vididi. And that's the kind of concept which we have. I was surprised. I have to really, in my future studies, I need to get to the bottom of it, where I see that the Kailai. And then Georgia, a range of hills in north, ransacked in search of Sita. Kala. So many. Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. Look at the Kala. See, this is what I call as a cluster. You touch anywhere. I can come and give you a latitude and explain this particular cluster. Range of hills ransacked in search of Sita, Kama, Afghanistan, Iran. Kerala, I thought it's in south. Because that Kerala was created by when the Parasurama came this side with the Malu in his hand. What is that? Malu is an axe. Axe in his hand, he put it on the map. Indian map, and just a separately created thing. This is what the Parasurama myth is always the fight between the priestly class and Kshatriyas. That's how they sing on. In south, where the Sita was touched, Afghanistan, Iran. I'm not you. I don't know. With this Kerala, that Kerala is only the same. I'm telling you, I'm not getting into the etymology. I am going by the absolute database. And then I will prove on that paper. Pakistan, Kuru Nadu, Kuru, Panchala, Magiska, Malava, Mlecha. This word is used even in Sangam literature. Udambin Urakkum, Uraya Navin, Padamdugu Vilecha. There is a terminology used. I think it's in Mullaipata, Mullaipata and Nadanalvadi. I think most likely Mullaipata. And Udambin Urakkum, Uraya Navin, Padamdugu Vilecha. Satai Potragra, Udambin Urakkum. He cannot speak the language, he speaks a foreigner type of thing. Uraya Navin, either he cannot speak or his language cannot be anything. And Padamdugu Vilecha, he is wearing a shirt. That fellow is called Milecha. You see that the Sanskrit literature always Milacha means a barbaric fellow whose language cannot be understood. But Vilecha, absolutely a place name in Iran. It's a place name in Iran. How can it be accidental? How this cluster can be accidental? And Murashipatana, Purusataka, a land of cannibals where Sita was touched. So in Valmiki Ramayana, there is a place called Purusataka is mentioned. That place is explained. This is an area where the cannibals are living. Like the cannibals are living, when you see that what is that movie? Bahubali. There's one guy will be villain, Kalakaya. What is his name? Kalakaya. That's there's a language was found, computer language, and he was speaking something like that, Kalakaya. So like that, Kalakaya is a place name. I will show you that. Okay, this Purusataka is a guy, is a cannibal area. So why they must have come to a conclusion is that Purush, three Purush. Purush means men, people. Purush. Purusataka. Purush is cannibal. So I mean, in the area of the cannibal where the people are living. I am going and finding in Pakistan, Pusat is a place. A fellow is from Pusat is a Pusataka. Pakistan Pusatak is a place. Pusatak is a place in Pakistan. A fellow comes from that place, it's called Pusataka. And what the meaning given is the cannibals. So this is how the history moves. So we have to be very carefully analyze that. And then names of the hills in Ramayana. I am not repeating all the names. I have only selected so that I have to run through the entire thing. I have a huge database. I took the names of the hills, mountains, water bodies, place names mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana and compared with this country. And look at it. Gangarli, Meru, Meru Malai, Nandan, Gangai, Tandak, Tamasa. Next one. And the names of the kingdoms and towns and villages, regions mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Kiskinda Kandam. Aranya Kandam. Aranya is a place. Kiskin is a place. Lanka is a place. Abhike, Kekai, Kaikeyi. She is from Kekai. One who belongs to Kekai is the Kaikeyi. One who belongs to Gandhara is Gandhari. Mithila. If the Mithila is in Uttar Pradesh or Eastern Uttar Midilai, and then how this Mithila is here, how the Kosali is there, how the Panjali is there, how the Ayu is there, how this Puskalavadi, Puskil. Ultimately, many of the foreign presidents and prime ministers, you will find that they are basically placed and found in Veda also. Pushkin. Not only that, both the people, all these people, I tell you, it's a very. When I was reading last 2 months, I was absolutely taken away. I was locating Amarkava and then Toranadu, Kiskin, and where is the Lanka? Which Lanka we are talking about? Bali. Bali is the place. Kusa, Kundra. Okay, next go to that. There also Ayodhya is there. So Aksai. Then personal names found in Ramayana identified as a place name clusters in region. I am not reading it. Markandeya, Janaka, Maudilkeya, Maudu. There is a place, there is a Brahmin group in Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh. They are called Mugil Brahmin. Okay, I have written an article in Tamil Nadu when I wrote the Todar in Anand Vigadan. Written something about the N18L. I have mentioned about the Ravan. There is a temples in Ravana. In North India, people used to ask me, sir, I think how about the South India? They have a very, very sketchy idea about our place. Somebody was seriously asking me, sir, it's the fact that in your area, you people are having a temple for Ravana and you are all worshiping for Ravana. I said, I am not thinking Ravana, I have nothing to do with Ravana. I heard, I think there is some Mail Ravana is there. Our Mail Ravana and Anasaki, another is there, and other people, some people are mentioned, Ravana Kaviyam, Kulata is written, all kind of things is there. But otherwise, I am not having seen any temple for Ravana. But whereas, if there is a temple for Ravana, it's near Delhi. There is a temple where the Ravana. There is a place called Madhya Pradesh. I am there, Mandusur. They said the Mandodari was born here, and that is the reason it's a Mandodari. There is a temple for Ravan. It's a 10 thing. There is a temple. If there is a temple for Ravan, it's only in North India. The southernmost temple is in the Andhra Pradesh, northern Andhra Pradesh. Nothing after that. I have visited a tribal group in Maharashtra, Amaravati Hills, and then in that area. there is a place Ravana, son of Ravana, who is the son of Ravana. Like Nannan say Nannan. And they call themselves as a Ravana Vamsi. When Ram Leela was celebrated, these tribals of Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra and this region take a processor to the collector's office and give a petition. It's not good. Why are you burning Ravana? And he is our man. So they go and give a petition. Collector receives the petition every year and he keeps and files it. And go and Google for it. Tribal protesting Ram Leela or Ravana. You read it, they are all in the Gond people in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh, in Maharashtra. And they call one of the tribal, the Kurkuk group, Austronesian tribal group. I have been to that place. And they call themselves for Ravana Vamsi. And then this is the way the history moves. You have to understand, for understanding of the history, there is no singular way. It has to be transdisciplinary. It has to be interdisciplinary. You have to use the technology. You need to talk anthropology. You need to talk the sociology. You need to know the science. You have to talk about the genetics. There is no singular way of understanding society. It's very complex. That is the reason complex issue always have the easier solution. That is the reason I come up with the KBT complex and Greek complex. This complex problem of India has an easy solution of the place names. I will go to that. So like this Maugili, this particular Brahmins in Rajasthan, they say that Ravana is a Brahmin and he belongs to our group, Maugil Brahmin. When Ram Leela is celebrated, when Ravan is burnt, we actually mourning it. They go into mourning, and because he is our man. It's in North India. It's not a story, I think, but whereas there is absolute misunderstanding of putting which Lanka. You go to Southeast Asia, they say that Lanka. A man has written such of Lanka. He says that if any fellow telling this Sri Lanka is that Lanka, he is a fool, he says. The chief minister, former chief minister, he says that they are least informed. There is nothing like that, he writes. He's with that book. And Tara Singhi, Asura, Valmiki, Asur, Markandeya, upside. I am not reading all these things. Go to the next slide. Play personal names of Asuras of Ramayana. I took away only Asuras. Identified as a place name clusters in region western northwest. See that Angura, Asur, Vagodari is a thing, Matra is an Asur, and Aksai is an Asur. And these are the name of the Asur guys who are called, I think in Iranian area, Abul Masda, they say sometimes they say that yes become hard sound. That is the reason they said that Hapta, Sapta, and Saraswati become Bhairavati, or something like that. They say Asur become Apur, and they say. But my place name I said that is both is there. S is there, SH is there. And also I put the Apuran also, whichever way within Iran. This is the way the Asuras are there. That means both the heroes and villains are there only. Next. Personal names of sages. Sages we receive of Ramayana identifies a place name. Kavas is there. Kavasa Muni. Kavas. Angirasa Muni. Matanke Muni. Durvasa Muni. Valmiki. Agastya. Look at in Georgia. Georgia beyond that, near Georgia. Agastya. That means we say that Agastya came with a Vadapal Munivan Tadavini Tondri. Pronoun says that Valipuri Vanda Velirul Vele. How that's what Airavadam Sir also must have mentioned. Many have written. My language was not waiting to be written, and somebody is to carry my language and come from the north and give the language. Oh, keep this Tamil with you. Before Tolgapiyam, I written, the first grammar was written by Agastya. No. He is very popular. Agastya Malay, Kutralam side, you go to Kerala, Agastya Malay, Agastya Kuppam, all side, I don't know. But don't tell that he created Tamil. Don't tell that Tamil came along with the Sanskrit from the two sides of the Udukai of Sivan. No. Languages don't come out of Udukai. Languages come from the throat. It comes from the basically from the physical body of a human being. It doesn't come that way. So look at the Agastya. And then this is the way the stories are built. There is nothing, I am telling you. This is the same way the stories are built by the Dravidians also. That is the reason I already clarified. It doesn't talk any racial connotation. I have first spoken about the Dravidian migration. I am now talking about a human migration. It is a very natural. The human being don't stay in one place. Then when you come to now US, how you are in the Singapore having the Murugan temple, how you are having the Pattu Hills in Malaysia, how you are celebrating all these things, how the gods have gone across. So this is how humans never stay in one place. That is the reason, don't take it this way or that way. We also did the same thing. Next. Janaka, Alarcha. Okay, next, let's quickly. So personal names clusters in Ramayana identified as a Christian clusters in region. I am telling you, if I give my old data, I need Mahabharata one day, Ramayana one day, Veda one day, Southeast Asia one day. But I have to, because this is the day, 20th September. This has to be spoken. And that is the 100th anniversary. This is the day we were waiting for. This is the day we were building from 2018. The truth has to be spoken, whichever way. Truth has to be accepted. And we accepted truth. When I was a student, I was brought up with Lemuria, Umari. I am a Tamil student. I am a BA Tamil, MA Tamil. I studied nothing. I believed that way. When truth guided me differently, when I found Kodkai Vajitondi, I had an open mind to accept the truth. Because ultimately truth is overwhelming. Truth is much more important than the faith and beliefs you are carrying. So look at the name. Sita, Manusmriti, Manu, Lakshman Chotra, Mandora, Vasuki, Pambu, Vasuki is having both Vasuki and Vasuki. Look at that place, Vasuki, Pavlavan, Kalki, Tarakes, Marichan is the man. Marishaman, all Araki, Brahma, Manu, Yama, Ravan, Kalakeya. This movie. I still remember Kalakeya coming with a huge language. Well, I understand that the language was constructed using a computer. They created a new language which we say Kalakeya will speak in Bahubali movie, so that it's not understood by any humans or computer generated language. But Kalakeya is the guy, he's from that area. So Kyrgyzstan, Chandalas, Ravan, Matsya. So you name any caste, any community, any tribe, any rishi, any sage, any asura, asura, deva, asura, everybody. Next. I put that in Indian map. Map cannot be read. The names, how it's getting populated. So I decided to put a density map. This is how it looks. Again look at it. Western side, western area. Look at the concentration, Gangetic Valley. And it's also spreading into South India. As the history moves, as the philosophy moves, as the culture moves, as the new kings are coming and the new people are coming. The Sangam literature itself already started having the influence of the Vedic. And that is how the Sangam literature resists it. Sangam literature plays one of the extraordinary cultural politics the world has ever seen. That is the reason Arya Padakkaran and Nadijalian talks about the education for everybody. That is the reason Manguri Vardhana says, Panan Parayan Kadampan Tudiyanadi Innang Giravun Kudiyum Ilave. He talks about it. Varave Thinaye, Avare Kollu, Innan Giravum Unavum Ilave. He knows the Nel. Nelluguttu Paravum Kadamulum Ilave. That means one of the classical literature which talks an important cultural politics is Sangam literature. But in Sangam literature, Paliyagasale, Yubam, Vedi, everything is there. But then that's a philosophy. That's the reason the resistance. After that the resistance have gone. Probably we are trying to resist now. Probably we will rediscover ourselves. That is the reason we want to celebrate John Marston, the man who came and told that something is buried, this is something different, this is very ancient. And then I would never, he has done an extraordinary job. It is the duty of us that after 100 years we have to burn the midnight oil. Nobody will finance us. No budget provision will be made by anybody for that purpose. You have to spend your own time and you have to spend your own energy. And that is the reason this society, Tamil, is continuously giving its resistance. That is the reason we are still talking as a group of people, group of language. We feel proud of our language. Look at it today, the entire Facebook, entire social media. I couldn't believe my eyes that Sindhivali is today being spoken as such a common man's word. So look at this way. So then this is how the spreading takes place. Next. I come to the, I started in Mahabharata, I started in, I don't mind time. I don't want to know the time. Okay, Vedic text. Anybody is having urgent work can go, but this has to be done today. Vedic text. The Vedas are large body of religious text composed in Vedic Sanskrit. So you know that 4 Vedas, and this is a book. I have this book for last 30 years, couple of years. It's an extraordinary book. I don't accept with all the meaning they give it. The Keith and MacDonald, they attempt for finding a name for everybody. They will say copy means a monkey, then they will say a red bottom monkey. They will literally, the Keith and MacDonald will literally translate the names, which is not a correct approach. But they have done a great job of putting the data together. And that is the reason people like me take it alphabetically, see it, and they judicially put it in the Excel sheet and convert it into data, convert it into GIS. So, but for these books, I cannot get it this kind of data. So, I am thinking Vedic clan names. Vedic is full of clan. This clan, that clan, like that. I am not, each entry is a clan. But for the benefit of the last row, I am putting these very few. Kula. I am starting with what is the meaning? Kul. Raghukul Tilak, we say. Raghukul. Surya Kula. Kul. Kul is a place name. Kula is a place name. Where Kula will be a single. Kul will be a place. Not in Tamil Nadu. Kul alone cannot be a place. Kul. Maybe Kulasegar and Patti, something like that. It may be. Someday will come. But Kul alone is a place in Afghanistan, Iran, Tajikistan, Pakistan. Kula is a place in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Pakistan. Arya is a tribe, race, linguistic identity. Pakistan, Iran, Aryan, Turkmenistan, Aryaja, Georgia, Aryutha. Look at the top of it. Asur, a people against Devas. You know that in the Chen Avastha, in the Iranian religion, Asur is the hero, Deva is the villain. Deva is the villain. Dev Asur, they are having the divide there. They have the divide in the Iran, and the Deva people come this side, Asur people stay there, and they don't accept Deva, these people don't accept Asur, and then they become Ahur, Mazda kind of thing, celebration and all kind of thing. So then there are commonalities. What is mentioned in Veda? Varun, Mitra, Agni type of some gods, or Mitra, particularly Varun and Indra is mentioned in the Iranian documents also, Mitanni tables, and then there is an agreement, the inscription, that area tables in the common for the Iranian tradition and the Vedic tradition is the name Indra, Mitra and Varun. How it will happen? Why I am not hearing that? So look at this kind of a name. Deva, heavenly people. Afghanistan, Georgia, Iran, David, Anga, a tribe, Pakistan, Aja, a tribe, Pakistan, Anu, a tribe, Iran, Andhra, a tribe. Andhra is a place will be tribe also in Pakistan. Alina is a tribe, Aline in Iran, Ambastia, Odisha, Cambodia. Look at this, Iranian, Cambodia, like that. This is Southeast Asia, it goes also. Cambodia kingdom. Look at this, Kambujiye in Iran. Karaskara, a tribe. Karask in Iran. Karaskara, Kyrgyzstan, Karasu, Afghanistan, Iran, Azerbaijan. The entire area is a Karasu belt. You know that entire area downside is steppe. Kasi is a very, very important tribe. Kasi Rameshwaram, we say that Kasi Ponal Punya Gadagina. Kasi. So he said that Banaras is considered, Banaras considered to be Kasi. Okay, Kasi Vishwanath temple. Kasi is an important segment. You won't believe the number of Kasis in the North India, number of Kasis outside India, you won't believe it, I tell you. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, both way, Kasi. For me, I will search for both. You cannot computer alone do it. I have to sit down, Kashi, because that's it. SI. Iran, Kuru is a tribe in Iran, place, Pakistan. Gandhari is Pakistan, Iran. Chedi, Durvasa. Can you imagine Durvasa Munivar? Nisada, Bhakta, Naisada, Panchal, Panchala. Look at the Panchala. In Iran side you see that Panchali, Pancha, Sibi. That Sibi story will come to Sibi Chakravarti. Then you will talk about the Sibi Chakravarti story. My Chola becomes Sibi Chakravarti. Then he will become a Raghuvamsa. That's a different story. Parsu, Parsuram and Parsan kind of thing and all. Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran. Parvati, Malay Magal become Parvati. And that is reason my book, Siddhuvadi Panpat in Dravida Adithalam, I have subsequently also mentioned the entire hilly region of the northwestern India, including that entire belt, you will see only Malay most. Malay. And only one Giri is there, two Giri, and only one Parvat. Parvat and Giri are the Sanskrit word, only one and two form hundreds of Malay. I have written that. This Malay, Kote, Durga, before it became the Durga. So Puru, Pundra is a tribe. Parvata, Banika, Bharata is a tribe. That is what the Mahabharata, Palanas, Mutipa, Yaksu, Yadu tribes. Yadu, look at it, Iran name, Yadu, Banga tribe. Like this, it's an endless story. So I take it to the next slide. Animal names. I wanted how can we because I classified that. I created a separate database. In Vedic full of animals. I am not putting the entire data. If I put the entire data, Vedic alone is a separate paradigm. But I will write. I will like a journey of a civilization, or for that I will write a peer-reviewed international journal or something like that. This is a curtain raiser for this topic. I will keep working on this and I will make it happen. And Vedic animals. Akra means horse. Can there be a horse? There can be a Aryan civilization or culture without a horse? In Indus Valley civilization, horse is not there. Even Sangha Ilakyam tell me Neerin Vanda Nivirbari Puravi. It comes from outside. But the Sangha literature already having Kudurai Maram, everything. But horse was not there in Indus. That is very, very important. Somebody in between made an attempt to make a horse out of it. But then he was exposed. And Asu is a steed. Ashwa is a horse. Look at it, all these places. Hayagriva, Udra, otter, Edaka, a vicious ram. A particular ram is known as Eri is a deer. Kapi is a egg, Manida Kurungu. Kapi. And Kasika, Kasa, Gaza, elephant. Gargaba, an ass inferior to horse. Most likely like a Kovier type or something like that. An ass inferior to horse is a Gadab in Iran. Harina, Haya, horse in Rigveda. In Rigveda, the term Haya is used for the horse. But in Iranian place name it is Janaka, Jatu, Kara, ass. Kurma Avadara. Tartars, Pakistan, Kurma, Iran. Machala, some sort of a dog. All these places, Maya, horse, Mesa Rashi is a ram, Afghanistan, Mesa, Mush, Munjurumari, Musaka Bahana, Mouse, Azerbaijan, Iran, Pakistan, Musika, Iraq, Georgia, Musikwara, Makara, probably crocodile, Nakara, aquatic animal, Nakula, Salyaka, porcupine, Varana, wild beast, elephant, Sardu, tiger, Usti camel, Uta, Varaha Avadar, both. Look at it. The entire area I have populated where it is very clear that animal names will be given to the place name. It is all over the world. All over the world, river name will be given to the thing, clan name will be given to the place, tribe name will be given, animal name will be given, bird name will be given. So it's not, I am not doing any rocket science, anything new. It is a base, whole world is following this pattern. Sasa, Sukra, Sima, Kurkura in Oriya and other Prakrit language. I was surprised that in Oriya we say Kukurasana. Kukuru means, it's a kukur. Kukuru means nine. Most likely Telugu was Kukku or something like that. Kukka. So we call Nai and Malayalam comes to Patti. And the Patti is the word is used even in Kalitogai. In Sanga Ilakyam also uses that. So Noi Patti. And here is the Kutkur is used as a word. This is the place which names comes as the name of a dog in from that region. Kutpura, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Iran. Gavaya, Gavaya means wild animal. Wild animal means boss Gavayas. Not வீட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பசுமாடு இல்லை, இது வந்து காட்டு மாடு மாதிரி. Wild animal. Iran வந்து கவை. Iranல கவை. Chaga, goat. Dana, Basta, goat. Magis, buffalo. அது பாகிஸ்தான் சைடில் வந்தாங்கன்னா அந்த பஃபலோவே அறிமுகமாகும். மார்க்கடா, மார்க்கடானா even in Oriya, even today is called Mankada. Mankada, Isati, monkey, Muskara, Saka, like this. These are animals. Next go to the Vedic cattle. If they are the pastoralist, how can there not be cattle? Look at this list. Pasu, Pasu Palaka, Pasu. Beetle, Avum, Avian, Avin, Avin Pal, ரொம்ப தூய தமிழ், Avin Pal, And cow, imagine Indo-European language, anywhere you go it's a cow. In English and other thing, Nordic language, Germanic, is all connected to that cow word. Look at it, go, G-O, in this in Tajikistan. That is a place. He's not asking anybody to go. It's a place name. It's a place name. And look at that is that Pasu. Pasu is also a cow. Go is a cow. Goa is a go. G-O-W is a cow. Karki is one type of cow in Karki you do it? This one. I take that. No. It's cattle. Okay, look at this. If you go to the Vedic literature, look at the reserve. Have you seen the reserve? Here that thing, reserve. Rishabha Vahana, Rishabha Rasi, Mesa Rasi, Mithuna Rasi. So like the reserve, Rishabha, Vahan means cattle. Oh, இவ்வளவு நேரம் அதை வச்சுக்கிட்டீங்களா? இதை முதலே கொடுத்தா நான் கையை எதுக்கு அடிக்கணும்? வாகன் இவ்வளவு சீக்கிரமா சொல்லி துகானா பால் கொடுக்கிற மாடு, துகி கௌ, ரிஷப், வாகன் பசு, வாகனம். கார்த்திங்கிறது ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பசுமாடு. எதுக்கு அதையே இல்லையா? கேட்டில் இருக்கு. அது நீங்க you can just go to Google for it, you will find out that Vedic index. Karki is a type of particular special cow, and then white cow, red cow, and all is there. Duhi. So that's another duhi pasu. This is what the cattle. If the cattle, the Vedic Aryans are there, how can there not be cattle? So that is the reason the pastoral names I have put it, and look at it where it's a thing in the steppes and then Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkey, this area, Iran particularly. Everything getting next. Vedic place names. Vedic itself is having a place names. Maru is a place. Kikra, Turgal, Maru, Kambili. Kurukshetra, Karapasan, Arjun, Maru, Mansar. All these things I have connected with the place names and created this cluster. Next. Vedic rivers. Vedic literature is having full of rivers. There is a river called Sipi. Nadi itself is a name. Like how we call Aru. It's a Nadi. Ganga Nadi kind of thing. So then the Sarit, Parus, Dehi is the name of a river. Sarayu. What do you mean by Sarayu? Look at it. Sarayu Nadi Karayi. How much we have written in Ramayana? Sarayu Nadi Dhiro. Gangavi, Yamu, Kuba is a river in Vedic. And Sadani is a river in Hindi. Sadanira is another river name. Sadanira means the meaning is given that Jeevanadi Mari. Sadana Epime. Neerna appear near the Tamil is a word has come. Sadanira is a thing. But I don't believe in meaning, I don't get into it. I keep away from the meanings. However I am tempted, I keep away from that. Komali, Bobas, Saras, Seelam, Kuba, Silpavas. Sus is a river. Sadani is a river. Sarayu, look at this Sarayu. Look at Ganga. Next. Vedic territories. There is a Vedic territories are there. Lok. So I compare this particularly. Lok mean what? Lok Sabha. Lok mean Makkal. Loka. Ulagam. Loka. Ulagam. Makkal. Loka. Then Des. அதை விட கொஞ்சம் கிராமமானவன நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்ற ஊர் is like it become Vis. Then that's a Raj, the leader. Rajan. Then become Rajya. Des. Pradesh. So look at it. Lok. Desa. Raj. Rashtra. This Rashtra. Nichka. கீழே இருக்கிறவன் அதான் நீச்ச பாஷை நீச்சா இரிச்சி தேஸ் நீச்கா கஸ் அப்படின்னா கஷ்னா ஒரு கிளப்ட் மாதிரி வேதத்துல ராஷ்டிரா ராஸ் நீச்சா இரிஞ்சி விஸ்டோ கூப்பல் விசானி. So like this Raj, Rashtra, Kars, all these things I compare. Next, Vedic caste. Vedic, there is a group of people. Sudrani, Sudra, Rajani, ruler, Brahmani, Vitrari. What are the communities caste coming in Veda? I have located as a place name here. Brahman, Vaisya, Satriyan, Rajan, Pitriva. Pitriva is முன்னோர் பித்துர். பித்துருக்கு இது கொடுப்பாங்கல்ல பித்துர். ராஜன் பித்ருபே. வர்ணா. வர்ணானா குரூப் கலரை வச்சு வர்ணா. இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா வர்ணால இருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு வயசுல இருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு பிராமணி, பிராமன், ராஜன், சண்டாளா, ராத்தகாஸ், வைசா, சத்திரியன், பித்ரட்டா. What is mentioned in the caste name, I am identifying as a place name. You remember that this particular thing, the concept not only traveled to Southeast Asia, the names also was transferred. The concept was transferred. The culture was transferred. The ideology was transferred. That's what I am trying to underline. Next. Then, this only one map I put it in the name. Okay, you go to the Basti. In North India, I have traveled all over India, except 15-16 districts of India. All the districts of India I have set my foot, except 15-16 districts. 30 states I conducted election. 2 Lok Sabha elections I conducted. Every district I gone. And Basti is the name which I often hear. Basti is a district in Uttar Pradesh. Basti is a district. You can say Brahmana Basti, Yadav Basti, and Jadav Basti. ஜாட் பஸ்தி. பஸ்தி நம்ம ஊர்ல வந்து ஊர் சொல்ற மாதிரி அல்லது சேரி சொல்ற மாதிரி கிராமம் சொல்ற மாதிரி. சேரினா வித் ராம், இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பின்னால கொண்டு வந்த ராம். சங்க இலக்கியம் செய்த பார்ப்பன சேரி, மீன் உக்கும் பால் சேரி. So it was it's a cost neutral name, but this Basti is very important. So I located all this name I found that Gotra, Desa, Kul, Basti, Raj, Lok. Basti, Kul, Harmi, Prasadpura, Gotra, Kul, Desa, Durum, Gotra, where it comes. Look at it. Which area it comes? Somehow in the Karnataka area, Karnataka in some places, even there is a place called Saraswati. Then I went to the Google map and located where. So there is a school is there, and then they are also doing something connected to the Veda Pathsala kind of thing and all. So Kula. And this is a few names are seeping into it. This is the way. Okay, go to the previous. Yeah. Okay, then look at it. How famine for this name here. How rich this name. This is the way you have to understand when we go to the DNA and other studies. You have to see that how this happened. This binary is inevitable. This ideology is inevitable. But we have to understand in the proper context. We are talking in a new world where we are talking about a global human, global man. We are talking about Yadamure Yavaram Kelly is our ideology. We will ultimately come back to that. So next. So now I am coming to the read Indra-Gandara complex compiled together. I saw all the data, now I compiled it. Now I will show you only these 3 names. Indra, Gandara, Rig, Indrajin, Rig, Gandhari river, Indra, Ig, Gandhara. How did you read? That is the reason I call it a Rig complex. I am not calling for a fancy RIG like KVT. How I found Kodkai Vanji Tundi, it was a eureka moment. One day night around 1:32, I come back from office around 11:30, 10:30 night. I come and open my laptop. Why I mention my wife Sujata's name? 1:30 I wake her up and tell that I found Kodkai Vanji Tundi. I broke the code and it is my eureka moment. She told me, go and sleep. It's already 1:30. This is how at 1:30 one day I found Kodkai Vanji Tundi complex. This sometime in 2002 to 3 I had broken this code, but I waited for this 100th year. Probably I didn't consciously wait, and luckily when I was vacating my home, I caught hold of this document. This document was waiting in my library and reading room for this many years to be spoken by me today. And this is how the Rig complex looks like. Next, top 50 names. Okay, you have always have a top 10, top 20. I had a confusion. These many names I am confusing you. Whether I go for a top 100, then it is getting populated. Then we sat yesterday night till 11:30, 12, three of us sat together. We had a problem in basically filtering it. This is needed, that is important, that is important. We had a consensus. We finally filtered 50 names selected. Everything is important. Ram, Sita, Rishabh, Bhim, Kuru, Panjala, Janaki, Rig, Nala, Gandhara, Ravan, Markanda, Yadu. Anything you name, without this 50 you cannot construct the identity of Aryan identity. This I call is a top 50. I am locating this top 50 here. So next, the contours of migration. We are talking much lot about the river Saraswati. Even the curriculums and the textbooks are being changed to include this name. So it's very important. We must know with an open mind what exactly it's about. Saraswati is the name. Saraswati is the name of the goddess. Saraswati is the name of the person. Any one of you could be a Saraswati. A god is there. Saraswati is the river. Saraswati is the place. For information, you should always find in Sanskrit, sometimes R ending thing will be masculine. Mahanada, Mahanati. Saraswata, Saraswati, like that. So I located this Saraswati. Where it comes, I will show the name also. Here in India, I am not able to find this Saraswati anywhere in Georgia, Iran. Maximum I could find a place called Saras. I could not find Saraswat or Saraswati. I found only in India. Here it comes this Saraswati. Here this place, this dot I am putting is called a Saraswati river. You go to Google and look for where is it in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, look at it, possible, just Google if possible, find out. Google Earth, I tell the coordinates. This is a small river. This is also called Saraswati river. Okay, then there should be Saraswati is a safe, then Saraswati Pur, Saraswati Pura. Then by the time it travels to the South India, it comes to the Saraswati Puram, Saraswati Petai, like that. Then there is one Saraswati gets into Sri Lanka, and once reach here, where is the way it's not showing? It's in Indonesia, where I have put this particular round. There is a Saraswati. How this Saraswati went there? This Saraswati went because of the Hinduized middle period, completely converted the kings from South India, kings from the Eastern India, and the ruling class, Brahmin priest, the neo Kshatriyas, and then converted everybody, and then lateral entry, everybody went and somebody carried this Saraswati and put it in the Indonesia. It is Indonesia, Sri Lanka, South India, concentrated here. It is a river here, it is not a river here, and then it is coming here at least. So we saw a small river is going there, but it is not called Saraswati river. The place is Saraswati. So I feel Saraswati on the move. Saraswati moves. She keeps moving. And probably I could not find a Sindhu in the entire Southeast Asia. Sindhu is settled. Probably. Saraswati is on the move and Sindhu is settled. Next. And Saraswati on the move, but not even a single place in Southeast Asia where Sindhu is a mono-word place name. This is the terminology, MWP means mono-word place name. That means Kul is a place, Kula is a place. It's a mono-word, only one word. It's a monosyllabic. Go, cow, and not cow pete, not Ayodhya. It's the same name. It's a mono-word. Ayodhya pete is a double prefix and suffix. It becomes a specific name and suffix. So I have not found here. You look at it. This Saraswati. Go to the previous page. Previous. Yeah. Here this is Saraswati. Look at it. Saraswata. Male form. Saraswata in Sri Lanka. Saraswati. Saraswati Vilaham. Somewhere in Tamil Nadu. Saraswati Vilasapuram. Saraswati Kalava. Saraswati Palli, Saraswati Pura, Saraswati Halla. In Karnataka, P will become Ha, Palli Halli. And Saraswati River, here one river. Saraswati Nala is a drain. Nala means like a kind of canal. Saraswati Nala, Saraswati Nadi, Saraswati River. This is the Saraswati River I was telling. Saraswati Nadi, Saraswati. So, when these particular people come, along with these people, the Saraswati moves. And Saraswati not started there, is found. Saraswati traveled to Indonesia, and no one claimed that we are the thing, because I will tell you what happened to Southeast Asia name. Next. I read this book. It's one of the greatest book. I have a huge regard for this author. Sometime in the early 90s, I bought this book. I think mid-90s, I think. I want to put this cover, Rajesh Kochar, one of the phenomenal researchers. Throughout the archaeological history of India, I am quoting him in page 221. There is a time progression from west to east. Throughout history, archaeological history, is a move is from west to east. The western sites were always older than the eastern sites. The western site will be older period-wise than the eastern site. Thus, the Indus sites are older than the Gangar sites. Later, the Mahabharata named PGW, painted graveyard sites, are older and more westerly than the Ramayana named NBPW, Northern Block Painted Ware sites. Rajesh Kochar, page number 221. Next page. During their migration, the Indo Aryans carried with them not only their poetry and religious beliefs, but also place and river names, which they selectively reused. When I read this book, I felt that they were moving with their name, they were selectively reusing. They moved, names moved, selectively reused. Saraswati, Brahmana, Vaisya, Kshatriyan, Sudra. Selectively used. Brahma, Bhishma, Rama, Sita, Ravan, Lanka, selectively reused. But he didn't explain. I got a clue from that. When I started my studies, I started in late 80s. I was already into place name studies. But where I was encouraged to study the Vedic thing was in this. There is no shred of evidence, he says, to show that the Megalodians, early phase Harappans and mature phase Harappans had any cultural trait in common with the Rigvedic and Avestan people. Rajesh Kochar, 225. Are you still not convinced? Are you? I'll give you one more evidence. This document I presented in 2005 in Bangalore. Those days I was in Orissan, just moving to Delhi. 2004 I think that I delivered a talk in Mysore. 2005 I delivered a speech in Bangalore. At that time we created some slides, GA slides. Suddenly, about a couple of weeks back, I located my old document. I realized that I had spoken on a similar subject, not this way, about a particular context in 2005. See this particular document. Malla is the name of the you like Malla dynasty, tribe dynasty king. This side is the place name. This is AF mean Afghanistan, PK. This is latitude and altitude. Malla is a place. Sakya. So you are there. There is a scholar. Inscripts a scholar. You must have done great work. Padmavati is here. We are having the great benefit of having one of the epigraph Eastern historian here. You know Sakya, and the Sakyan, Lichavi kings, Licha, Ambi, Porus and Purushottaman, who fought with Alexander. Ambi also was there in that character. That Ambi, Porus and Purushottaman, Porus in Iran. Which one that? Magadha. Later on, it became Indian kingdom, Magad. Sisunaga dynasty, Sisunak in Iran. Nanda dynasty, Nanda. Even Sangam literature mentioned about Nanda mentioned. Sangam literature mentioned even Nanda. Maurya. Again, Maurya, Mauripur in Iran. Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta is a place. A fellow from Chandragupta is a Chandragupta. That is the reason in Kottaibaji Tondi, when I mentioned that Maran is a place name, Validi is a place name, Kannagi is a place name, Kovalan is a place name, Pumuga also is a place name. I mentioned Adiyaman is a place name, Neduman is a place name, Anji is a place name. Adiyaman, Neduman, Anji is a progress of 3 place names. That is how I presented my thesis. Today, so far, no one has refuted that. If Adiyaman can be a place name outside, why not Chandragupta? So we will give a name, Chandra mean moon and Gupta mean secrecy, something like that. We will give a name. I don't believe in it. Asoka. Here are other things. Asoka. Then that is the place where the K will become Q. So you need to know. When I search that, I have to search K, I have to search G, I have to search KH, I have to search GH, I have to search Q. That is how it takes a time taking. Sunga dynasty. Kanvan. Next. Saka Varsham Gadila, Saka calendar. Kusan kings. Look at the Kusan. Iran. Kanishka. Can anybody deny that Kanishka is not a king? Kanishka, Afghanistan. Kanishkin, Iran. Chedi kings, Chedi Vamsam. You know it. Chedi Gar, Chedi King, Chedi Kuge. Karavela, whose inscription for the first time mentioned about the Tamil Sangata, Tamil Kuttarasigal, Natparasigal. The first epigraphic evidence is available for the Sangam Trinity, what called Movender, is only in the Haripumpa inscription where Tamil Natparasigal was spoken. Tamil Sangata. But the Karavela, Malava kingdom. Sadavagana. நம்ம வந்து இந்த மொழிபெயர்ப்பு நூற்றுவர் அப்படின்னு சாதவாகனா வாடாகர் பத்மாவதி you must be knowing வாடாகர் குப்தா ஹூனா தோரமானா டைன்சி தோரமானா மௌகாரி சசாங்கா ஹர்ஷவர்தனா Chalukya. I created, when I spoke in Bangalore, I created a Chalukya cluster and proved to them. Chalukya moved as a cluster. And then how it's coming from Iran and carrying a group of names, I matched the river with the river, the area with the area. It was a presentation which I did in 2005. Go there. Go to that. Important name is there. Then finally, Pulikesi. I am a fan of Pulikesi. Particularly, 23 Pulikesi. வரலாறு முக்கியம் அமைச்சரே. Pulikesi is the place name. Can you match it? முதலாம் Pulikesi, இரண்டாம் Pulikesi, 23 Pulikesi. I am a huge fan of Pulikesi. We have a group which we have the Pulikesi Vadivelu as our permanent DP. So we discuss only a non-serious matter. We cut jokes and create meets. And this Pulikesi. So after Pulikesi is the place name. Is there anything to talk further? So then, come next. This is a map from presentation in 2005. I did change that map, get up. We could change the map also. That table and this map, which I had prepared some 20, how many years? 29 years? 19 years, sorry, 19 years back. I presented in Bangalore. I maintained the same map and same table. I didn't change these. This is what I presented. Next. Density of such names in north and lack of density or void in south. I was showing some of the map. There is a density. The patterns of penetration always takes place. Number one, the name will be modified. The name will be slightly modified. Pulkestin, Chalukya, and then Kanishka, and Chandragupta. It's like modified adjective. Added suffixes, Ayodhya Kuppam, Vyasarvadi. So like that the suffixes will be added, Pattai Puram. Translation is another method. The name, they will find out what is the meaning of it. So there is a river called Silambaru. It's mentioned in the ancient literature. Silambaru. Then you go to Alagargoil near Madurai. When you go to the Palamudir Cholai, on the way there will be a board will be there. What is that board, ma'am? Nupura Gangai. Nupura means Silambu. Aru means Gangai. Any Aru is the Aru. So my Silambaru has become a Nupura Gangai. There is a river called Panni Aru in the Kerala region, Wayanad side, that side. Before it enters into the Theni side of Madurai district, it is called Panni. Then the moment it enters the Sanskritized area of the Madurai region, it becomes Varaga Nadi. Varaga Nadi Kare Voram. You like the song. Okay, Varaga Nadi. I went to for an election work in Khammam district in sometime in 1997 in Andhra Pradesh. I was in Khammam. Then I was traveling and I was asking for a map. In the tribal area, the name of the river is Panni and the town is Varaha. So like that, Vedaranyam. How the Veda comes to my area, Vedaranyam. Then people say it's a Marai Kadu. People say it's a Marai Kadu. Vedaranyam. Mayiladurai, Mayuram. And then Triveni, Mukkudal. Then Kridumal Nadi. I don't understand here Madurai, what the hell Kridumal. You know, he's from Madurai. Kridumal, I don't know any idea. Kridumal, Varaga. So I have, it's a boat from blue. It's out of from there somewhere Kridumal, Varaga and all is surrounding me. Nupura Gangai and Triveni and Sangamam and all. It's a Kudal. So Kudal. So it's a translation. In Southeast Asia, in most cases, they reverted to the native names. These guys have went and created is Raja, Rani, Raja. Some of the names stayed back. When you go to that book, you find hundreds of names. During the inscription, during that period, this was called this country, this was this Puri, that was that Puram, this was the Meru and all. Today they have gone back to their original name, their language names. And some names stayed Indian, stayed Hindu, Sanskrit name. Some alternative names have been given. Inscription and documents in Southeast Asia and research work gives far more names than what is factually on ground. It says actual on ground. Missing key identity markers in the south. The name like Greek, I don't find. There is no separate name called Soma. There is no separate name called Indra. There is no Greek. There is no Gandhara. In Sangam literature I am searching. Gandhara is there, no. Rigvi is there, no. There is a mention about non-Malay, but there is a mention about Indra. But my Sangam literature schooling is left and making a mimicry out of him. In Thiruparamundram, after Muruga, the Velan, the Kurinji god, got married to the daughter of the Indra, the Yuvarani. It is in Thiruparamundram. Paripadal makes a song on the Vaiyai and Thiruparamundram Sevve. And the people are going there. I recently made a speech in the museum, Eluthinilai Mandapa. That was my topic. Eluthinilai Mandapa, my call is the gallery of paintings. And there is the people, the guides are showing in the Sangam literature period. In Thiruparamundram, there is a mural paintings are kept. And that is the place Devi Ani is there. She is a daughter, supposed to be the daughter of Indra. And this fellow, Madurai guys are asking, what is that painting? Oh, see that. Oh, see that one. Oh, it's a great painting is there. Oh, Ramba is there. Urvashi is there. Then they are saying, oh, this guy is the Indra. Look at this Indra. Oh, look at he is running like a cat. Pune Apparan. Oh, he is the Gautama. Gautama Munivar வீட்டுக்கு ஒரு பூனை வேஷத்துல போயிருக்காரு. இதுல போயிருக்காரு. அவர் கௌதமா வந்து கையோட பிடிச்சவன அவர் வந்து அவர் அகலியை சாபம் விட்டுறாரு. Then see he runs like a kitty. Suppose the Madurai guys went to Tirupurangundram, it is a place of Devayane, and it is a daughter of Indra, they should only glorify Indra. But how can you make a memes? That was the first memes released by Tamil guys. So that's they are actually ridiculing. In fact, actually, if you see somebody, Sar Gara Sumber to Uluvay in Mari, Indra, this is the thing, is a cat, he is running like cat, there was an Agaya, he is the Gautama, like that, they were. And then again another fun, in Indra, wherever Thiruvallur mentioned Indrane Salum Kari, he is not actually praising. He is basically making a fun actually. And you look at each other, Indra Amildam Yegvad Ayinu. In Sangam literature, there is a song, Undalamma Ulagam. This world is lying like this, rotating, because there are some people, even if you go and give him the Amrita of the Indra Loka, he will not take it alone separately, he will divide it for everybody and give it. And because of people like him, this world is running. It's what Sangam literature makes a cultural politics. So that means, what is the statement? There is a statement about the, what you call distributive justice. Pagirka Laram Patriya. The greatest statement made by the Sangam literature is the Indra Amilda. And also in Paripadal, there is a song written in praise of Thirumal. The song written for praising Thirumal, but that song says that Irukai Urumal, he has got two hands, but one hand is not an honest hand, is a dishonest hand. Nayanil Urukai. In the Amildatai, while dividing, Vishnu played partisan role and gave it to the Deva and not giving to the Asura. Because that role is played by the Vishnu, out of these two hands, one hand is Naduvut Nilai Trinambiya, moved away from the equity, moved away from the distributive justice, moved away from the justice of law, and moved away, and it is a Nayanil Urgai. Naduvut Nilai Trinambiya Nayanil Urgai. Wherever Indra was spoken in Sangam literature, he has been ridiculed only. Wherever this Amritam has been spoken, there is no place for. So if you really look at it, the pattern, the monobit place is a strong indicator. The patterns of penetrations are obvious. Come next. Proposal. Now I am giving my proposal, the fourth part. Based on the GIS data, Geographical Information Data, maps of thematically organized comparative name clusters across the potential regions, which I consider potential, Skepi, Georgia, Iraq, and the patterns of penetration presented here, I propose RIG complex, which I call Greek complex. The metaphorical clusters of identical place name stands witness to the Aryan migration theory, AMT. The data supports Rajesh Kocher's 1997 suggestion that Indo Aryans during their migration carried with them not only their poetry and religious beliefs but also place and river names that they selectively reused. Next, the contours of the migration of the Indo Aryan names confirm the archaeological history of the Indian subcontinent, which shows time progression from the west to east and northwest to south. It once again endorses the known archaeological fact. The Indus sites are older than Gagar sites, and BRWs and BW sites are older than LBPW. The pathways of the past, the contours of the past, the pathways of the past as revealed by the migration of these names are in sync with the recent studies in ancient DNA and genomic data from diverse present-day South Asian, which talks about the ancestral South Indian, ancient South Indian, and ancestral North Indian, and Harpan and Steppe people, and who came from the thing. So these are the areas which is very basically the genomic studies are putting across, the archaeological studies are putting across. My study, I believe, that is falling in sync. If I create a DNA pattern map, it will sync. If I create a archaeological site map, it will sink on that. It will go and sit pretty on that map. So this is what I will say in this proposal. Next. And I am glad to quote, but man is not a tree. He has no roots. He has feet. He walks. Sometime when I was working in Orissan, I went to a village for my field study, and Dravidian tribe, Dongriya Koon. Kambesi is the name of the village. And this place, this area, I located that tribal people in the last 70, 80 years, known 80, 90 years, shifted their village 3 times. Because there is a water facility is not there, the river changed, then there is a little grazing area. They changed to another 2 kilometers away, then another 3 kilometers away. Then somebody wrote about an anthropologist. Then I went to that village, and his face is still in my mind space. I can recall his face, that old man. I wanted to meet some old man who will know the local their history. And then I read from this anthropology, this village shifted 3 times. And he casually mentioned this village shifted 3 times. And then I also know that all the 3 times the name was kept. I went to that village, sat with that old tribal man whose face I am still remembering. I asked him, okay, you shifted, I understand, your village 3 times. But any number of new names are there. Why you kept the same name? So I know that I am a name researcher, I know, but I never expected this answer. How can we change he was asking me in the colloquial Oriya and the language, tribal language, I can understand. How can we change the name of the village given by our ancestors? Their spirits may get confused when they want to visit us. No university, no professor, no university could have taught me the simple lessons of the migration of the names. Why people are clinging to the name. They consider that to be an umbilical cord. Kurkai is important for me. Vani is important for me. Madurai is important for me. For somebody, Saraswati is important. For somebody, Ram is important. So like that, the people cling to the name. There is no present. That is the reason. I have written these 2, all 3 I have mentioned in my studies, in my journey of civilization. There is no present or future. Only the past happening over and over again now. நிகழ்காலம் என்று எதுவும் இல்லை, கடந்த காலம் என்று எதுவும் இல்லை, நிகழ்காலம் என்று எதுவும் இல்லை, கடந்த காலமே கடந்து செல்கிறது நம்மை மீண்டும் மீண்டும். India's pluralism. Through this book, through my studies, I want to articulate an important ideological position which I have been taking all my days, all my life. India's pluralism is not a melting pot pluralism. Bhaktachalam Paradisa was quoting that. India's pluralism is not a melting pot pluralism. India's pluralism is not a salad bowl pluralism, like in America they would like to call. India's pluralism is the rainforest pluralism. அது ஒரு மலைக்காட்டு பன்மையம். யாரும் ஊரே யாவரும் கேளி. Every town our hometown. Every man a kinsman. கனியல் பூங்குன்றனா. புறநானூறு 192. மிக நன்றி. வணக்கம். My God, I didn't see the time at all. I don't wear a watch. I didn't carry the phone also, but I don't mind. I got no regrets. I'm happy that I did it.
இது ஒரு கனமான உரை. அனைவரும் இருக்கிறீர்கள். பிறகு வீட்டில் சென்று அனைவரும் யோசித்து பாருங்கள். ஐயா பேசுகிறது தற்போது நன்றியுரை ஆற்ற ரோஜாமூர்த்தி ஆராய்ச்சி நிறுவனத்தின் உதவி இயக்குனர் மணிகண்ட சுப்பு அவர்களை அழைக்கிறோம். On behalf of Rojamutia Research Library, I thank R. Balakrishnan for delivering this wonderful lecture. I have seen Balakrishnan sir for many years, so I was amazed to see how meticulously.
Please excuse me, just 2 minutes. Please be seated for 2 minutes.
It's a time to thank and Like all to be here while thanking who are involved in making this happening, this lecture. I thank Sri Balakrishnan sir and I thank Professor Bhattachala Bharati sir for presiding this event. He has come from his native to Chennai especially for this event. I thank Sri Sindhilnathan for bringing this special issue of 100 years of Indus discovery. I thank the artist Trustee Madhu sir for drawing Marshall in this wonderful magazine, in this Tamil Nadu magazine. He is a long time friend of Balakrishnan sir and also for Rojam Research Library, and for several of Balakrishnan sir's book, Madhu sir has given his drawings, and I thank him for coming this occasion. And I also thank Dr. Janaka sir and Dr. Paul Pandyan sir from coming all the way from US to attend this lecture. They are one of the patrons of Rojamukti Research Library, and I thank them for being here with us today. I thank Chandrasekhar IPS sir for helping us to organize this event. Also I thank the volunteers from other foundation for helping in organizing the event. I thank the Anna Centenary Library for providing space and all the support for making this event happen. And I thank all the media friends and all those who came here all the way to attend this event. Thank you all. Have a nice evening. Just a minute.
ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம். தமிழ்நாடு பாடநூல் கழகத்தின் சார்பில் ஒரு அறிவிப்பு. பாலகிருஷ்ண சார் எழுதிய ஜேர்னி ஆஃப் சிவிலைசேஷன் புத்தகத்தையும் அதனுடைய தமிழ் வடிவமான ஒரு பண்பாட்டின் பயணம் இந்த 2 நூல்களையும் பாடநூல் கழகம் வெளியிட உள்ளது. அக்டோபர் மாதம் 15ஆம் தேதியிலிருந்து இந்த புத்தகம் கிடைக்கும். இப்பொழுது மாதிரி படிவங்கள் ரெடி ஆகிவிட்டன. இந்த நாளில் சாரிடம் வழங்க சொல்லி அரசிடமிருந்து உத்தரவு. ஆனால் சாரிடம் இந்த பணிகளை வழங்குகிறோம். இது மலிவு பதிப்பாக தமிழ்நாடு அரசு பதிப்பித்துள்ளது. 1200 ரூபாய்க்கு தமிழும் 1600 ரூபாய்க்கு ஆங்கிலமும் கிடைக்கும்.
சார் ஜனேராம் நீங்க 2 பேரும் வாங்க சார்.